Video game ratings give parents information about what is contained in video games and allows them to make informed decisions. Welcome to Hamma's Gaming, I'm Hamma, and today I'm going to be looking into video game ratings and why they are important. Games like Mortal Kombat with its graphic fatalities and its use of photorealistic characters, in 1994, that was quite a big thing. Wow, I was ripping someone's spine out from their head, just wow, it was never been seen before at that point. There had been obviously some games that were sort of like that, but they never actually got the media attention that Mortal Kombat did. Funny story actually, back in 1994 there was a game on Channel 4 called Games Master. They used to show off the latest Mega Drive games and or just the games of the time really. It had Patrick Moore on there as the Games Master, used to give people cheats. But I seem to remember that one time it was on about 6 o'clock in an evening, and there was this one point where Mortal Kombat came on and they showed it in all its graphic glory. I really wish I could find the episode, but I really can't, and I seem to remember that my dad ringing in, it was just absolutely, what is going on here, this sort of thing shouldn't be seen at this time, ringing up Channel 4, and we ended up on TV on A Right to Reply, me and my brother playing on our Master System at the top, wow. It wasn't a big thing to me. I hadn't even thought about it that way, and my dad was just absolutely livid. Shortly after that, it was taken off the air, came back at a later time slot, which I unfortunately was not allowed to watch anymore. I really missed that show, it was great. But anyway, it was around this time that we got these games coming out. You'd got Doom as well. Night Trap was quite a controversial one. The media jumped on that for all the wrong reasons, saying it was about, you were basically this special ops agent watching over these girls in this slumber party. I'm pretty sure most of you who are probably watching this know the story. You're basically there to help the girls, but the media portrayed it as sort of you were there helping to kill these girls. It wasn't like that, but the media was just kind of jumping on this thing. It was decided, particularly in the US, to start this organisation called the Entertainment and Software Rating Board, or probably known as the ESRB, to regulate the industry a little bit more, sort of rate these games. In the UK, their job was given to the BBFC, the British Board of Film Classification. Later on, they would give it to the Video Standards Council, who would then obviously create the Games Rating Authority, and the system they use now is the PEGI ratings. PEGI stands for the Pan-European Game Information. They look at video games and based on their content give them ratings from 3 to 18 plus. It gives consumers information on the content of the games as well in little boxes that's say whether it's violent, it's got sexual stuff in it. I will cover how these organisations rate these games in a later video. I will post the links in the description below if you want to read up a little bit more. So why are these ratings important? It's basically without these ratings parents would have no idea what they were buying an age appropriate game or not for their children. Games are getting a lot more realistic these days. It's now more important than ever to make sure that we are protecting them from these images. This is just my personal opinion. I've only recently become a father, well, more of a stepdad, but my oldest is 6 years old. He's really interested in gaming and I want him to join it, I want him to get into it, but I really don't want him to sort of be playing these violent games. Maybe, like he plays Streets of Rage and stuff, but I used to play that when I was a kid. I'm not messed up, hopefully. It's just an added layer of protection for children so that they can't mistakenly buy these games. There is a pretty hefty fine of like £5,000 and you can do time in prison as if you are a retailer selling these games to kids underage. Now, I know what you're probably going to say, yes, there's still kids that are playing these games. However, that is not the retailer's fault, that is down to the parents. Now, you know, you can't really regulate that. It is very, very difficult to sort of say, right, well, if we find out your kids are going to be playing these games, then you're going to prison, because, you know, the government doesn't really have that sort of control over individuals. I think the other main issue really is education. I really don't think that the parents understand these ratings. You know, you do also get games that get rated way higher for than their target audience. I mean, I remember reading an article in Kotaku, on Kotaku, I think that's how you say it, and, you know, it was saying that Ben 10 got a 12 rating. What 12 plus kid wants to play Ben 10 games? You know, you get out of Ben 10 at like 10. You know, I think really we do need to make it a little bit more clear to consumers, especially parents, what kind of games they are buying for their kids. You know, I mean, how many times do we find ourselves playing online and there's like a 13-year-old playing like Black Ops or something, or Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, you know. It's very much kind of like protecting them from, you know, sexual images, and the interactive nature of games as well makes it really important, because you can pretty much just pause a movie, stop it if you think it's too violent. But video games, you can't really do that. You can pause them, you can stop your child from playing them, but if they're playing up in their room and, you know, you've not really paid attention to what the game is, you just bought it, you can't really, you know. Now obviously there is no evidence to say that video games make anyone violent, but you really don't want to take that risk. Anyway, I am going to be doing more videos on these, so I will go into a little bit more detail. I'm more sort of wanting to go into why these ratings are important. So tell me what you think in the comments below. Do we need a little bit more information? Do you think that the PEGI ratings work? They're okay? Do you really think that we need these ratings? What can be done to kind of stop these kids from playing these games, if you think they even should be stopped playing these games? I understand it's up to the parents, but I really want to know what your thoughts are on this. So I'll see you next week for more of Hamma Gaming. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more, and also you can check out my first video in the box below. Thank you.